Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Commodity Weekly Roundup with me, Ravindra Rao from Kotak Securities. In this session, we normally talk about the recent developments in commodity markets and its effects on the future prices. Last week was directionless as market players remained on sidelines ahead of the central bank meetings this week. Disappointing US payroll print had a limited effect as the focus shifted to US CPI readings, which came in line with expectations near 6.8% year on year. As it was the highest inflation in decades, all focus now is on the Fed and its decision in this week's meet. The US dollar index ended little changed for a second week as market players countered increasing risks to economy from rising inflation and spread of new variant against prospect of Fed's monetary tightening. Bond yields also witnessed mixed trade but ended higher on reduced safe haven buying. This week, dollar is trading close to 96, and it needs something big to move further higher or on the lower side. So I think it will be trading sideways until the Fed's decision, and after the Fed's decision, we might see some kind of a move, a directional move in the US dollar index. Coming to precious metals, along with the dollar index, gold was also range bound and also due to other mixed factors. MCX gold Feb contract ended with a 0.5% gain as marginal rise in international market was coupled with the Indian rupees depreciation against the dollar. COMEX gold traded in a narrow range and ended with a 0.1% gain. COMEX silver, however, plunged 1.3% last week amid a listless trade in gold and a mixed trade in industrial metals. MCX silver March contract ended with a 0.6% decline as losses in international market was countered by Indian rupees depreciation against the US dollar. Concerns about Chinese economy and stress in manufacturing activity globally has dented demand outlook for silver. In case of gold, it has recently gained support from persisting virus concerns, rising inflationary pressure, increasing geopolitical tensions, and concerns about China. However, mild symptoms associated with the variant and early studies that existing vaccines may give some protection has capped the gains. US inflation data released last week showed that consumer prices in November rose at the fastest pace since 1962, and this increased gold's appeal as an inflation hedge. Rising inflationary pressure, however, further strengthened a case for Fed's monetary tightening. ETF activity is likely to remain mixed unless there are fresh triggers. Overall, gold has already corrected on expectation of Fed's monetary tightening, but it may remain under pressure ahead of the Fed's decision. A sharp fall may materialize only on Fed projects early rate hikes. Technically, COMEX gold has been trading in a broad range of $1760 to $1800, and we expect this range to continue unless until there is any major direction from the Fed's meeting. On the lower side, 1758 is a crucial support, and if it closes below that, then it might move southwards towards 1720 to $25. Similarly, on the higher side, 1803, 1805 dollars remains a strong resistance, and if that is taken out on a closing basis, we might see gold moving higher towards say 1830, $1835. On the MCX, 48,400, 48,500 remains to be a strong resistance, and if that is taken out, we might see gold moving higher towards the next resistance of 49,500. Similarly, on the lower side, 47,300 would act as a good support. Below that, it might fall further. In case of silver, on the MCX, 60,600, 60,500 holds a key support, and if that is taken out, we might see silver falling towards 59,000, 59,400 levels. Similarly, 62,000 to 62,500 remains a stiff resistance, and if that is taken out on a closing, we might again see some pushback in silver prices. Coming to energies, crude oil has risen sharply last week, marking its first rise in 7 weeks. The setup for gains was created at the OPEC Plus meeting on December 2nd. OPEC Plus has maintained a flexible approach but may continue with production hike unless virus situation spirals out of control. This has fueled expectation that OPEC and allies may stop production hike if virus situation worsens and threatens to impact demand. and this has helped crude oil prices recover. Subsiding effect of Omicron virus has also helped crude oil to recover from lower levels. Tensions relating to Russia has risen in last few weeks, and this may continue to lend support to prices. However, market reaction may subside if Russia-Ukraine tensions do not escalate. Additional support to crude came from reports of sharp rise in China's crude oil imports last month. Chinese crude imports stood at 41.79 million tons or 10.17 million barrels per day. That was higher than October's figure of 8.9 million barrels per day, but still it is lower than when compared with the November 2020 figures. Technically, crude is taking resistance near. This is in case of WTI crude. It is taking resistance near $73 to 74 per barrel, and on the lower side, floor is seen near $67.68. In case of MCX, 5,200 would act as a floor, and on the upside, 5,600 would act as the resistance. And we expect this range to continue. So, on the lower side, we might see some buying coming in, but on the higher side, we don't expect it to sustain. So, it will trade in a broad range. Finally, in case of base metals, we saw a mixed closing. In case of base metals last week, the property sector situation in China weighed on the complex, although receding virus concerns and Chinese stimulus provided a cushion. People's Bank of China announced a cut in the reserve requirements ratio in order to add long-term liquidity to bolster slowing economic growth. This was largely positive for the industrial metals pack. Zinc was the top gainer in metals pack last week as electricity price hike coupled with falling treatment charges amid rising demand from galvanizing plants prompted output cuts by Chinese smelters. This has come at a time when rising energy cost is already causing disruptions at the European smelters. Higher premium for long-term contracts in the European zinc market in 2022 due to high energy costs and steady demand may be supportive for prices. Aluminium had a volatile week as expectation of deficit next year coupled with Chinese stimulus measures provided a cushion while upside was capped by increase in LME stocks. Aluminium is likely to be amongst the gainers this week on prospect of higher demand for aluminium ore going forward. Technically, copper is expected to trade in a broad range. It is slightly on the downside, but Fed's decision will be looked at. And till then, we expect the prices to trade in a range of say 716, 718 on the lower side on the MCX, and on the higher side, it will take a resistance near 1740 to 1745, 740 to 745. Sorry. In case of zinc, a resistance is pegged near 282. If it sustains above that, we might see zinc prices going higher till 290, whereas support remains near 270, 272. It is expected to trade with a slightly positive bias, but more bullishness will come only if it moves about 282 and closes above that. In case of aluminium, 216 is a stiff resistance. It is trading in a triangle, and it has to take out 216 on the higher side to move further towards 220, 222. Similarly, on the lower side, support remains near 208, 208 point half, and if that is taken out, we might see aluminium drifting lower. Otherwise, it is expected to trade in that triangle until and unless there is a breakout on either side. Market focus this week will be largely on Fed, ECB, Bank of England, and Bank of Japan meetings. Additionally, market players are also awaiting more clarity about virus situation as well as Chinese economic health. Additionally, US retail sales data will add to the volatility. We have to be a little cautious this week because of the Fed outcome, as the market can be really volatile. So need to trade with strict stop losses this week and wait for a clear direction. That's all from this edition. Good luck and trade safe.